This is the MHS Pawdcast, the online radio voice of Metuchen High School.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS. I'm Eddie Kalegi, Josh Hyman's here, Sarah Terracina, and we're also joined today by Senior Class President Lara Vaz. Before we get to that, though, we do have a few announcements to go through. First off, there was another letter from Dr. Caputo today. He said that all Metuchen High School summer programs will be conducted remotely online. That has been confirmed. He also wanted to congratulate all 204 Metuchen High School students who took the adjusted online AP exams over the past couple weeks. The Metuchen High School Media Club wants you to know that if you're participating in their isolation short film competition, submissions are due by midnight, and you must send them to mhsmediaclub@gmail.com. And lastly, Josh is actually here. He's one of the winners of this. I'll name everybody. It's a long list, so be patient. But congratulations to Josh, Anand Agarwal, Ariel Benderly, Karina Gallagher, Daniel Schleif, Carly Newcomen, Charlotte Hack, Jackson Schneer, Chase Clavon, Isabel Ruiz, Isabel Wiener, Juliana Margolin, Karim Khan, Maggie Kleiner, Regina Wilcox, Rosalind Almazan, Sela Weitzner, Harude Shah, Richa Desai, I'm almost done, Saskia Garcia, Mary-Kate McConney, Caroline Leone, and Noza Baradinova. All of them earned NJ State Seals of Biliteracy. Josh, if you wanted to talk about that first and foremost, you said you took a test a few months ago, so how was that process?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult. So basically what it was, like, all the students, I believe they were taking like at least honors. I think either four, like the level 4 in the language was given an opportunity to take the test. And it was a 2-day test that we took it on zero period, and pretty much what it was the first day, it was I believe the first day was like the speaking and understanding part. So what they did, it was a recording of a question or recording of a prompt, and you had to speak back into it in that language, and they graded you on like vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, stuff like that. And then the second day was the writing portion, so pretty much the same thing, although they give you different prompts, and you have to write like a certain amount, and they're looking for the same stuff. It was pretty hard. Like most people I talked to, they did not walk out of it thinking they did a very good job, but which is fair because, it has to be tough, it has to be very thorough and stuff like that. So a lot of the kids that I took it with, they were pretty concerned that they didn't do well, but as I know, pretty much everyone who took the test passed, so
Well,
not bad.
congrats to you and everybody else who got it. One more announcement I just wanted to say for us is that the MHS Podcast is looking for new members for the upcoming school year that can help us with shows, scheduling, and doing interviews with us, or even doing sports broadcasts. So if you're interested, reach out to me or Josh. We need a new member because Sarah's going to be graduating in just a few weeks. So let us know if you're interested. So we're here with Lara, the senior class president. And the first thing I just wanted to ask you, when did you first become involved with student council, and just how was the process to eventually becoming senior class president, rising the ranks through all these years and now holding this position?
So I've been involved in student council since 5th grade when Miss Petrakakis and all of them were the advisors in middle school. And then, but like in middle school, we didn't really do much. Like, the teachers organized everything and we just kind of like did what they said. But then once high school came, like freshman year, I was just like a regular member. Battle of the Classes was super enticing, and like I knew I wanted to be involved with all of that stuff, as well as the student council basically revolves around Battle of the Classes, so I knew I wanted to get involved. So sophomore year I was secretary, junior year I was secretary again, and then this year I became president. And it's like you would think that the roles are like pretty much equal, like what you have to do is equally distributed among the 4 roles, but like I don't know. I feel like this year it was like much more fun. Maybe it was just because being a senior, I had like a better handle of what I had to do. But I thought this year was our most successful year.
So I got to ask you, what is the most enjoyable part about being class president, and what's the biggest challenge?
So I'll start with the biggest challenge this year, especially. I don't know whether it was senioritis or the fact that we had meetings at 7:15 and everybody else had and most seniors had senior privilege, but we had a really, really low turnout at most of our meetings this year, as like Sarah can probably attest to. And it was really disheartening, you know, coming in, like all of the officers and like the people who were like really involved and having like 5 people there every week. But, you know, we overcame it. We had a lot of fundraisers this year. Oh yes, this year, one of like the best parts of student council is like, well, winning. And not only like battle of the classes, but like everything that we did, like all our different fundraisers and everything, like raising up for our senior trip and like all these other different things. And it's really sad because like we raised like so much money this year and like we can't use it on our senior trip or anything like that. So that's really disheartening. But my favorite day is obviously battle of the classes, where everybody comes together, works on decorations and stuff, and it's a really fun day.
Yeah, Battle of the Classes, definitely a great day. But I'm going to go back to what you just said about all the money you've raised and all these opportunities. Obviously, this has been hard. Sarah can attest to this as well. For you guys as seniors, I mean, how have you been able to cope with like the situation and dealing with everything, knowing that some of these activities that seemed like givens your senior year just have been changed or just aren't happening because of what's going on?
Yeah, it's really disheartening, and it like hits especially hard like the day like commitment day or like the day of prom, where we're like, oh, if we were in school right now, we'd be taking pictures. If we were in school right now, we'd be leaving to get our hair done. And especially this past weekend, a lot of us would have been at Wildwood or like down the shore, stuff like that. So like those days it hurts especially. But I mean, I guess it's okay because we don't really have it the worst. College graduates, you know, it's really messed up for them, especially like coming out and finding jobs. And also like the bigger picture. I mean, like people are dying, you know, so like prom, graduation, I guess it does seem like trivial in that aspect, but it still kind of sucks.
Yeah, definitely putting things in perspective. So I got to ask you, you know, the student council, obviously a lot of things have been halted right now because we haven't been in school. Has the student council been working on anything right now?
Oh, well, I can't really disclose that information yet. But as you know, like the governor recently announced that we can have in-person graduations, and we were all super excited for that, came up with a plan and everything. But then we realized today another like restriction on that is that you can only have up to 25 people. So that's like a big problem because like if we have students and their parents, like it would be at most like 6 people each time. So we were all set to go with graduation, but now we have to like reconsider different things. And we have like other like smaller things in the process. I can't give anything away because right now we have a surprise in action. But the Mr. Paragallo and the Board of Ed have been like so supportive in everything, and I have like a big surprise announcement for the senior class. Everybody's really gonna love, because even though this year has been like pretty harsh, like the school and the board is doing everything they can to make it like really awesome for us. So I'm really excited to see all the seniors' faces when I tell them what's in store.
Lara, is this what I think it is?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what you think it is. So.
Well, nice to see that you have some things planned. And one thing that was done for the senior class is the pictures that are hanging over Main Street. I mean, that's definitely a unique touch. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Was that something the student council was a part of, or was that something involved more so with the district itself?
It was pretty unexpected. The student council didn't have anything to do with it. Neither did the PTO. That was like completely done by the Metuchen Downtown Alliance. So we wrote them thank you letters and stuff, thanking them for all their efforts. And I guess like even though this is like a pretty unusual circumstance, I guess like in the long run it'll be memorable, you know, like tell our kids all these stories and how like our senior year was really cool with like all the extra effort the town is putting in.
Yeah, it's really nice to see such a collaborative effort going on. I'm going to turn it over to Josh and Sarah now if they have any other questions for you.
Yeah, so I do have a question. You mentioned you mentioned raising all that money through like all the fundraisers and stuff and not being able to use it. Is there any discussion or plan going on right now to actually put that money to use?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is that we did have plans, like a lot of things that we wanted to do with it, but now like the Board of Education is like taking some of those things into their hands. So we're kind of just like brainstorming different things right now. You know, obviously it's not ideal because even if we want to have like a get together or something like that, there are all these social distancing measures and stuff. We're hoping that the guidelines ease up sometime in the summer for us to plan an event for the senior class. Or some people have suggested like maybe when we come back for Thanksgiving break that Friday or something, you know, having like a party or something to like celebrate the senior class with the money.
So yeah, you mentioned all that. Is there like are there any things in particular that you've been brainstorming with the Board of Ed in your class?
That's partly has to do with the surprise. And like I really want to say what it is right now, but I can't give it away yet. But yeah.
All right.
Lara, now that you've been in student council for the past 4 years, who has been the best advisor? Right. Who's been the best advisor from freshman to senior year?
Well, our advisors from freshman year and sophomore year, they were both first timers. Even senior year, actually, since this is almost first year, first two advisors, they're gone. Miss Blaze was really awesome because, like, you know, she's been involved in it for a while, and like we won last year. But I would have to give like hats off to Miss Lozama because this is like her first year, and she's done so many things. Like it's really crazy, like everything she's gone through. She's helped us plan so many fundraisers. We won Battle of the Classes with her, even though it's her first year. And she's planning stuff with like the cruise and talking to Mr. Paragallo and all these senior events that we're trying to like have last minute. She's been really great. So I would have to say she did a really good job.
Well, Lara, go ahead.
What's the biggest thing you've learned being president?
Probably the biggest thing, like whatever you decide, like you're not going to make everybody happy. And like even the things that like you know the class would want or that you really want to do, if like the majority of people are like opposed to it, you kind of just like stuff your opinions aside and go with like what the most people want. And even then, not everybody's going to be happy, but you just have to like go with what you think is best at the end.
And what's a piece of advice you, as one leader to another, would give to the leaders of our country right now?
The leaders of our country, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a loaded question. There's a lot I would tell the leader of our country right now, but
or what about to the governor then? Make it small.
The governor. Okay. Well, the governor, I think like it's really premature what he's doing opening the beaches. I mean, I understand the economic stimulation, but then I don't really understand the fact that he's opening beaches. Thousands of people are there at a time. Even for graduation, it's like 25 people at a time. I don't really understand his reasoning with that. I mean, I understand it's good for the economy, but if you want us to have graduations at all, just like allow for a bigger crowd. Just like, yeah, that's like the first thing I would tell our governor.
Sarah's bestowing quite the honor on you right there. Giving advice to Governor Murphy.
I hope Governor Murphy doesn't see this, by the way.
I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope he sees it.
Well, Lara, it's very nice what the Senior Student Council, under the direction of you, have been working on. I know a lot of seniors are probably very excited about this unexpected surprise that you guys have planned. So best of luck going forwards.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, that'll about wrap up today's show. A thank you to our guest, Lara Vaz, and to Josh and to Sarah. Remember to keep following us on Twitter for updates. We will have at least 1 or 2 more shows this school year, so stay in touch for that. Until then, I'm Kalegi. We'll see you next time on the Metuchen High School Podcast, the online radio voice of MHS.